alkyl halide. So congratulations. Kung nasa OrgChem 6 na kayo, halfway there na kayo guys sa OrgChem review nito. So here, we'll talk about the following. Structure and properties of alkyl halides. In fact, yung first slide ko class here, ay mga common alkyl halides. Nakapahulaan ko sa inyo, syempre. Kailangan guys, per chapter, meron tayong mga kilala na common examples of compounds bearing the functional group. Okay? And then, meron tayong lesson din class on nucleophiles. Before tayo mag-discuss ng substitution and elimination, I want you guys to review yung definition ng nucleophiles, diba? These are electron-rich species. And anong difference nila with bases? Because may similar properties sila. So we will discuss the characteristic called nucleophilicity. Okay? So lumalabas sa board exam ang property na to. So we must know the property of this nucleophiles na common about alkyl halides. And then we also have a part on substitution versus elimination. For sure guys, just remember SN1, SN2 under substitution, E1 and E2 under elimination. So, pag naka-isolate guys yung reaction, madali. Pero pag ayun na, marami na, naku-confuse na kayo, di ba? So we have to create a strategy para class maging understandable for you itong lesson natin. Alright? So start muna tayo sa madali. Pakulaan ko sa inyo. Ito guys sa kanilang formula. Di ba madali na, malalaman yung name. So kailangan alam nyo ang name ng haloalkane. So take note guys na ang mga compounds containing halogens, ang kanilang IUPAC name ay haloalkane. Yung alkyl halide, common name nila yun. Alright? So for the first one, ang kanyang occurrence or common use, ginagamit siya as a refrigerant, solvent, and in silicone production. Ito kasi sa kanyang formula, anong tawag natin dyan? Chloromethane. O baka malito kayo dito ha, sa CH3Cl at saka sa CHCl3, magkaibang compound. So here in the first one, it only has one chlorine atom. Kaya chloromethane ang kanyang name. Next, solvent and paint removers, degreasing, and pharmaceuticals. O parang familiar sa amin, dapat lang. Diniscuss natin to as one of the common organic solvents for extraction. This is dichloromethane, also known as DCl. Okay? Next, CHCl3, used formerly as anesthetic, now ginagamit sa lab and chemical synthesis. Ito class, chloroform. Next, former cleaning agent and fire extinguisher. Now, restricted na nga ang use niya. Ito class ang carbon tetrachloride. Next, former refrigerant and aerosol propellant. Pati itong pangalawang example, class, ito ay mga fluorocarbons. Bakit phase out na sila? Di ba class? Kapag alaman na sila ay nakadeplete ng ozone layer. So as you can see, nag-differ sila class sa bilang ng kanilang chlorine and fluorine atoms. So these two refrigerants, these two chlorofluorocarbons are Freon 12 and Freon 11. O class yan, ang dalawang common na mga freons, refrigerants, or mga CFCs. So ayan, meron na kayong na-review class ng mga common, simple haloalkanes or alkyl halides. Okay? So sana class, maalala niyo sila kasi kailangan may kilala kayong mga representative na compounds per chapter natin. Now, let's cover the part on structure and properties. So structure muna class. So alkyl halides or haloalkanes consist of an alkyl group bonded to a halogen atom. So here are three examples. So meron tayong primary, secondary, tertiary. So we have here ethyl chloride. So class ay common name. 2, chloropropane. Yan naman ang IUPAC name. 3, butyl chloride. Another common name. So class, ang naming, ang IUPAC, kakasabi lang natin, they are named as haloalkane, whereas ang mga common name ay alkyl halide sila. Okay, please remember, kasi ganito rin class later sa alcohols, sa ethers, sa amines. So, meron talagang IUPAC versus common names. Alright, next, polarity. So, we know na polar ang carbon halogen bond. So, this leads to stronger dipole-dipole interactions than alkanes. Kasi ang mga alkanes, they only have London dispersion forces. Ma'am, ibig sabihin, higher ba ang kanilang boiling point? Yes. So, they have higher boiling points compared sa mga alkanes with similar number of carbons. Solubility, so generally insoluble pa rin. Kasi, hindi naman ito class nag-form ng H bonds. Okay, so ang mga alkyl halides, they exhibit dipole-dipole interactions. So, class, ito ang drawing natin for primary, secondary, and tertiary. Kung mahalaga ito ha, you need to know kung anong type of alkyl halide yung reactant before answering kung anong type ng reaction i-undergo niya. Actually, class, I still have one type of halide here, ang CH3X. Ito ay methyl halide. So this in particular is methyl chloride. So here, carbon is bound to 3 hydrogens. Sa primary kasi class, dalawang hydrogen, isa kasi R group na. Sa secondary, meron siyang dalawang R group. Sa tertiary class, meron tatlong R group naman yan. Okay, so we have methyl, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Very important class that you know the type of alkyl halide later sa reaction, substitution, and elimination. Now, please recall class na here, polar ang carbon halogen bond. So your halogen is the more electronegative part ng molecule. So the negative charge, the partial negative charge is on the halogen. X, it could be chlorine, bromine, iodine. And of course, carbon naman class yung partially positive. So meron talagang interaction ng mga molecules. So positive, oriented, or attracted dun sa negative portion ng kabilang molecule. So class, ito ang dipole-dipole forces between alkyl halide molecules. Okay? So now, meron akong i-add na portion ang pagkakaiba class ng nucleophile and base. So nucleophiles, attack o carbocation. Remember, ano ang ibig sabihin ng nucleophile? Electron rich. So syempre, ang partner na electron poor. For example, SN1 reaction. So you see here class, itong species na to, this is a carbocation. And then the nucleophile, our electron rich species, will attack this positively charged carbon. Ayan, di bagong bond na form between carbon and the nucleophile. So yan ang trabaho class ng mga nucleophiles. On the other hand, base, alam naman natin, ito ay nag-react sa proton. So ang base attacks ang beta proton. Ma'am, yung beta proton ba acidic sila? Yes. Okay? So beta protons are removed. Actually, sa buong ginagamit na term, abstracted. Ibig sabihin, tinanggal ng base, nag-react yung base dun sa proton. So a base attacks a proton. In this case, beta proton. Ma'am, paano malalaman kung beta? Class, the carbon that is previously bonded to the halogen is the alpha. And then yung katabing carbon, yung adjacent na carbon, beta. So a beta carbon bears a beta hydrogen. Okay, so ayan, kaya ang tawag dito, beta proton or beta hydrogen. So ano nagiging product, ma'am? Plus din yung arrows ha. So the base removes or abstracts the hydrogen. So this bonding pair will now create the double bond. Ayan. So alkene ang product here. Kasi magkaibang reaction to. The first one is substitution. The second one is elimination. Alright, so mas magiging buhay na buhay pa later kapag i-discuss na natin ang different mechanisms. Alright, so for now, gusto ko lang munang i-define natin, i-distinguish natin ang ginagawa ng nucleophile sa ginagawa ng base. Alright, now, I also have to let you know na merong effect ang solvent. Okay, may effect class ang solvent sa nucleophilicity. Ito yung property ng mga nucleophiles. If there's no solvent or solvent is not considered Tandaan natin class na ang strong base, strong nucleophile din. Sabi nga sa book, nucleophilicity parallels basicity. So, ano sila class? They agree. Kung stronger nucleophile, stronger base. Stronger base, stronger nucleophile. So here, with our halides, strongest ang fluoride. Okay? And then weakest ang iodide. Diba? Alam niyo naman to sa lesson on acids and bases. Alam niyo naman yung acid na lesson at yung conjugate base. Diba? HF. Diba? Recall, HF, weak acid. So, ang kanyang conjugate base fluoride, stronger base. You already know that from acid base, equilibrium. Okay? Paano itong dalawang solvents na to, class? Ang polar protic solvent. Ito yung may mga proton. Polar aprotic solvent, ito yung walang proton. So take a look. For polar aprotic, similar sa unang pattern na no solvent. So in polar aprotic solvent, ang stronger base, stronger nucleophile din. But in polar aprotic solvent, kung saan merong proton at merong possibility, chance of H bonding, hindi na class ganito ang pattern. So the pattern becomes this. Okay, halaman baliktad. Exactly. Baliktad na class. So ang stronger base ay weaker nucleophile. So baliktad. It's because of the ability of fluorine to form H bonds. Therefore, weakening humihina class ang kanyang nucleophilicity in a polar protic solvent. So mamaya, meron tayong mga examples ng polar protic and polar aprotic solvent. At anong reaction ba ang pinaprefer ng mga solvents na ito? Okay? So, class, meron ako ibibigay sa inyo na list. I got this from masterorganicchemistry.com. Pag ginawa nyo class ng acronym NEPS. Okay? Alam ma'am, ayun na yung polarizability charge solvent kanina. Exactly. Ito yung kanina pinakita ko sa inyo. So, in polar protic solvent, the characteristic we have discussed is polarizability. So, di ba, ang fluorine, it has capability of H bonding, capable siya. Therefore, less nucleophilic. Instead na siya ay maging powerful na nucleophile sana in H bond. Ayan, nabawasan na kanyang nucleophilicity. Weaker nucleophile na siya. But in polar aprotic solvent, okay, di ba? So, nucleophilicity roughly parallels basicity, nafa-follow siya. Kung polar aprotic yung solvent. Okay? Nag-iibig kwento kapag may proton kapag protic yung solvent kasi mas gusto ni fluorine makiform ng H bonds. Okay? So, ano pa yung nawawala dito, ma'am? Discuss din natin. Negative charge. Di ba, nucleophile nga nag-a-attack guys ng carbocation. So, maganda na negative ang charge. So, if it's highly negative, more nucleophilic. Look, so hydroxide is a better nucleophile than water, and H2 minus is a better nucleophile than NH3, HS minus is a better nucleophile than H2S. Di ba? So, negative charge, more nucleophilic. Next, if an atom is less electronegative, it means na less tightly held ang electrons to this atom. Therefore, more nucleophilic. Okay? Kasi ang nucleophilicity, ability to class to attack an electron poor species. Willing kang mag-attack ng electron poor species. So look at the pattern here. Diba alam niyo naman class na fluorine is the most electronegative atom. So kabaliktaran, siya naman ang least nucleophilic. Kasi nga, napaka-electronegative ng fluorine. So mas gusto nito na intense, no? Intense na ang electron pairs ay nasa kanya. Okay? Tightly held niya ang electrons. Kaya weak siya ng nucleophile, ang HF at ang fluoride. Now, opposite, itong NH3 at saka NH2 minus, nitrogen is not as electronegative as fluorine. Mas mahina ang electronegativity ng nitrogen. Therefore, the electrons are less tightly held. Therefore, siya ay better na nucleophile. Lalo daw CH3 minus, di ba carbon kasi yan. So, lesser pa ang electronegative ng carbon as compared to nitrogen. So, ayan na. So, meron na tayo isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat. Apat na characteristic ng mga nucleophile. So, negative charge, less ang magiging electronegative. And then, of course, you also have to consider polarizability and ang solvent. Last, steric hindrance. Ang last natin na consideration or last factor. So, tinan nyo class. Itong hindi bulky ay more nucleophilic. But as the molecule, as the species becomes more bulky, bigger, crowded, lesser ang pagiging nucleophilic niya. Bakit? Siyempre class, di ba mag-a-attack to ng another species, ng positive charge na species. Kailangan, ito ay okay, ito class ay madaling maka-attack. Okay? Pero kung malaki, kasi na ito, mag-approach. Mahirapan siya mag-approach because nung electron poor species. Okay? So, mga kailangan yan, yes. Kailangan ang NEPS. Ang NEPS ha, negative charge, electronegativity, polarizability, solvent, steric hindrance. Ano po, medyo challenge. Pero as you can see, very basic yung mga concepts na ginamit natin to explain the characteristic nucleophilicity. Okay? So, tandaan nyo class, iba't iba yung concept na kailangan natin i-gather from Gen Chem, na kailangan natin here sa lesson sa organ. Okay? So, now let's differentiate the two main reactions in this chapter, substitution and elimination. Again, so pag substitution, replacement of a living group by a nucleophile. Papalitan. Okay, papalit, new, ang bago, nucleophile. Elimination, removal of a living group, and a proton. Fix naman ng damay pa, di ba? Eliminate ka ng damay pa ng proton for a double bond. Okay, that's SN1, SN2, E1, and E2. Ano yung mga uni at bimolecular? Of course, dapat kayo familiar na sa kinetics ng second, guys. So these are the number of molecules involved sa rate determining step. Okay? So reaction outcome. So substitution, there's a formation of a new compound with a different functional group. Yung pumalit, yung nag-substitute. And elimination, the product is an alkene. And then, mechanism. So in substitution, this involves attack by a nucleophile. Pagkatapos natin kasi discuss, ang nucleophile ang mag-attack sa carbocation. While in elimination, there is a base-induced elimination of H and X. X, the living group, at yung hydrogen from the beta carbon. Diba? So, unti-unti nyo na class lahat naaalala. Itong lesson na to from a long time ago. Okay? Favored conditions. Ang substitution, favor ng polar solvents. Moderate temperature. While elimination, strong base, higher temperature. Substrate preference. So, kung hindi pa kaya memorize na yun, yung kanilang preference. Kasi later, marami tayong examples, guys. Okay? And then, stereochem. In substitution, SN1 gives a racemic mixture. Explain natin later kung bakit. SN2 involves conversion of configuration. Elimination. E2, special requirement ng E2. It requires anti-planar geometry. Competing reactions. Ang substitution often competes with elimination kung basic ang condition. Elimination often competes with substitution in nucleophilic conditions. Eh, ma'am, paano yun? Eh, di ba sabi nyo kanina, nucleophilicity roughly parallels basicity. Yun nga. Kaya nga, merong confusion. Okay, may mga reactions na mako-confuse ka. Ano kaya to? Substitution, elimination. Okay, so kaya kailangan himay-himayin natin class yung mga aspects. Okay, yung mga features ng mga reactions. Alright? So class, para bigyang buhay, itong first set of reactions natin, ang substitution, we have here video clips. Okay? So everybody, our first mechanism is SN1 reaction. Everybody, our first mechanism here is SN1 reaction. So guys, let's watch this. Our first Our first mechanism here is SN1 reaction. Everybody, let's watch this.
Tertiary halogen alkanes undergo SN1 reactions, where S indicates a substitution reaction is occurring, N indicates that a nucleophile is involved, and 1 indicates that only one species is involved in the slowest rate-determining step. In tertiary halogen alkanes, small hydrogen atoms in primary halogen alkanes are replaced by bulkier alkyl groups. Tertiary halogen alkane. The bulky alkyl groups do not allow attacking species to approach the central carbon atom. Consider the reaction between 2-methyl-2-bromopropane and a hydroxide ion. It has a two-step enthalpy profile. The first step, the heterolytic fission of the carbon-bromine bond, has a high activation energy, Ea1, and therefore determines the rate of the reaction. The first step involves only the halogen alkane and proceeds via a transition state complex to form a carbocation. The second step has a much lower activation energy, Ea2, and hence is considerably faster than the first step. The carbocation reacts with a nucleophilic hydroxide ion via a second transition state to form the product 2-methyl-propan-2-ol. Transition state. Carbocation. Ea2.
Okay, o plus later ha, i-highlight natin yung key part ng mechanism. Now, let's look at SN2.
Primary halogenoalkanes undergo SN2 reactions, where the S denotes a substitution reaction. The N shows the reaction involves a nucleophile. 2 is the number of species involved in the slowest rate-determining step. A nucleophile is an electron pair donor. It is attracted towards species carrying a full or partial positive charge, with which it can form a dative covalent bond. Consider the reaction between a hydroxide ion in solution and bromoethane. Both reactants are involved in determining the rate of the reaction in a one-step process. The hydroxide ion attacks the carbon atom from the opposite side to the halogen atom, because the bromine atom A is so large it impedes the approach of the smaller hydroxide ion, and B, it repels the negative charge nucleophile. The lone electron pair on the nucleophile forms a new dative covalent bond with partially charged carbon atom, to give an unstable transition to the complex. The complex behaves like an umbrella blowing inside out as the bonds rearrange into a tetrahedral structure. A bromide ion, called the leaving group, is released.
This is our last topic for
The transition state complex. SN2.
Okay, yung class. Sa kakatapos lang na SN2 reaction, you saw yung requirements alkyl halide. So we have here primary alkyl halide, nasa notes nyo rin. So ayan ang 3D model niya. If it's a primary alkyl halide, attack is easy. O similar sa natin sa video, attack will be easy. There's only one R group. But if it's secondary, may challenge ng konti, pero pwede pa rin. Attack is still possible in a secondary alkyl halide. Hindi ka lang kasing dali ng primary. Okay, ma'am yung methyl ba? Pwede. Mas maluwag nga yung methyl halide, di ba? So methyl halide, primary, very easy. For secondary, possible. Ma'am, paano kapag tertiary? Boom, hindi na. Attack is already impossible. If it's a tertiary alkyl halide for SN2 reaction, why? Bulky na kasi. Di ba? Masikip, crowded on the alpha carbon. So your approaching nucleophile will be having difficulty na maka-attack sa carbon. So ang tertiary alkyl halide, no, they don't react via SN2 reaction. So remember class, in SN2 reaction, space is a very important factor. Kailangan may enough space for the attacking nucleophile to approach carbon. Binabakuran ng tatlong R group, hindi kaya. Okay, so I hope nakita nyo class na this is very important in SN2 reaction. Okay, o meron tayo dito example pa. Yun yung unang video kanina. Okay, class na natin ha. So ano to, SN1 o SN2? So as you can see, the first step, nag-form ng carbocation. Second step, ayan, nag-form na class ng substitution product. So ang SN1, unimolecular class, yung 1 doon, because your alkyl halide is the only species involved in the rate determining step. Ano ba yung rate determining step nito? Of course, the breaking of the carbon-halogen bond. Yung class ang rate determining step, yung bond breaking na yun. So there's only your alkyl halide present during that step. Okay, kaya SN1 mechanism yan. Ma'am, bakit ang SN1? Sabi kanina, racemic yung product na mapoproduce. If the alpha carbon is chiral carbon, chiral center siya. Therefore, class, ang carbocation kasi ay trigonal planar. Ayan, nag-react siya, diba? Trigonal planar ang carbocation. So there's equal chance of being attacked on both sides kasi planar ang carbocation. Okay, therefore, there are two possible enantiomers kung chiral yung alpha carbon. Yung mga paano pag hindi chiral, hindi naman magiging problem yung magiging racemic no product. Okay, so ito lang ang nangyari kung chiral ang carbon, meaning may 4 different groups siya. Okay, how about this one? Tingnan yung class. Uy, ma'am, sabay yung bond breaking sa bond forming. So this is bimolecular. Pagsabay class na nangyari ang bond breaking and bond forming bimolecular yan. Therefore, this is an SN2 reaction. Anong description kapag isa lang yung step? Single step, one step. There's a more technical term. Concerted reaction. Concerted ang mechanism. Simultaneous ang bond breaking and bond forming. So ito class ay characteristic ng SN2. Kaya pala inversion? Yes, because the nucleophile attacks at the opposite side. Kasi dito aalis ang halogen. Okay, kaya ang opposite side sila kasi malaki. Diba malaki yung halogen atom? So magkaibang side ang nilalagyan ng living group at ng bagong group yung nucleophile. So class ito nasa taas, ito ay SN1, ito nasa baba, ito ay SN2 reaction. Alright? So sana clear tayo sa mga features na inaaral natin ngayon. Okay? So class, ito ang mechanism ng SN1. So in the first step, the carbon-halogen bond is broken. O slow. Ito yung rate determining step. Okay, so kaya tinawag na unimolecular SN1 reaction kasi slow ang first step. Bond breaking to eh. Mahirap makipaghiwalay siya. Okay, so ayan, bond breaking requires energy. And our carbocation here is a trigonal planar one. So trigonal planar carbocation, kaya equal ang chance to be attacked on both sides. So in step 2, the nucleophile attacks the positively charged carbon, the positively charged carbon, correct, kasi ito yung carbocation faster ang second step kasi bond forming na to. Okay, so ito class ang SN1. SN2, 2 bimolecular because there are 2 species involved in the rate determining step. Isa lang yung step. Diba sabay nga, simultaneous ang bond breaking and bond forming. So ang requirement ng SN2 space. I need space, ganyan. Kailangan natin ng space kasi attack class ang nucleophile at the opposite side of your alpha carbon. So ito, daming space, methyl bromide. O diba? So tatlong hydrogen, nalilit lang yung hydrogen. So kaya ng nucleophile to approach carbon and form the substitution product. O diba? Ang dali ng class ng SN1 and SN2. So meron pa tayong comparison here. So mechanism, so two-step. It forms a carbon-cation intermediate. SN2, one-step. Concerted ang nucleophilic attack and loss of the living group. Rate determining step, nakita nyo na rin. Order and rate law, nakita na rin natin task. So in feed chemical, this first order and second order reactions. The rate, may rate law pa tayo here. Rate is equal to K times the concentration of the alkyl halide, and in SN2 kasama na class ang nucleophile. Bakit base to? Nucleophile ng class. Substrate preference. So kapag SN1, tertiary. Bakit tertiary? Di ba class? Ang carbocation, or recall from your chapter on alkenes, ang carbocation na more R groups, more stable. Okay, so tertiary, ang pinaprefer ng SN1, then secondary, then primary. So doon tayo sa more stable na carbocation. But baliktad naman sa SN2, it's due to steric hindrance. So methyl, primary, secondary, and hindi na possible ang attack sa tertiary. Nucleophile. So in SN1, weak nucleophiles are sufficient since the rate limiting step is the formation of the carbocation. In SN2, kailangan strong ang nucleophile for efficient nucleophilic attack. So later meron akong ipapakitang diagram kapag matapos na natin ang mga reaction. So ngayon kasi nasa substitution pa lang class tayo. Okay? So nakita nyo ito kanina, ayan ang solvent o ang solvent class ng SN1, polar protic. The carbocation, di ba charge yun? Ang carbocation at ang living group, they are stabilized in polar protic solvent due to electrostatic attraction. SN2, okay, nasa polar aprotic solvent. Stereochem, nakwento ka na kanina, SN1 racemization and SN2 inversion. Examples, so tertiary alkyl halides with weak nucleophile. Pwede na. Tertiary butyl chloride with water. O diba, pwede na yun ma'am, yes. So tertiary butyl chloride with water. O diba, weak nucleophile, tertiary alkyl halide, pwede. SN2, methyl or primary alkyl halides with strong nucleophile. So ayan, methyl iodide, drawing natin, CH3I, and hydroxide. Uy, ang strong naman ma'am ng nucleophile. Tapos may space around our carbon, alpha carbon. Diba? So yun ang gusto ng SN1 and SN2 reactions. Now let's explore a little bit ng solvent. So polar solvents, solvate ions in SN1 by interaction of the solvent's dipole moment with charge of the ion because of the attraction. So ang mga protic na solvent, yung mga proton, alcohol, water, they are more effective because halides form hydrogen bonds with hydrogen and then the carbocation form a complex with the load pairs of oxygen. O, diba? Ito class ang first step, ang breaking ng carbon-halogen bond forming the charged species. At kapag polar protic ang solvent, ayan, sila ay solvated because of the interaction ng kanilang mga charges and load pairs. So ibang libro tawag nila class solvolysis, solvation. Diba na-discuss yun na to sa sa solubility equilibrium natin na ito class ay interaction ng solvent with the species. So generally, ito ay solvation. Pag water, hydration. Dapat maalala nyo yan. Ang mga polar aprotic solvents, they exhibit dipole-dipole interactions pero walang H bonding. Bakit man? Kanina ba meron? Ayun, class, diba? Meron. Okay, there's interaction here ng ating hydrogen bonds. Okay, kasi nagpo-form ng H bonds. Okay, however, here, wala. They are incapable of hydrogen bonding. So, acetone, acetonitrile, THF, DMSO, DMF, HMPA. So, mga polar naman ito mga to, pero incapable of forming H bonds. Kaya, aprotic. Diba? So, hindi tulad ng proton kanina dun sa protic na capable of forming H bonds. Alright? So, anong ipinifavor na reaction? Itong polar aprotic, kalma lang, SN2. Yung SN1, kailangan ma-solvate, kailangan may interaction ang solvent with the ions na charge. So, ang gusto ng SN1, polar protic solvent. O, diba? Clear tayo sa features nito ng reaction. Now, sample problem tayo class. Which compound in each pair undergoes a faster SN1 reaction? O, dapat alam yung features ng SN1 reaction. So, you have here a tertiary alkyl halide, Br. O, ito mga drawing natin, class. So, meron tayong ganyan. So, tertiary itong carbon na to, and then we have CH2Br. O, anong classification? This one is tertiary. This one ay primary. O, anong faster sa SN1 reaction? Siyempre, ma'am, itong tertiary. Because it will form a stable carbon-cation. Next. O, di ko na kailangan i-draw ha, kasi clear na siya. Ito class. So, bilang tayo, ilang R group, meron ng alpha carbon, isa, dalawa, secondary. What about this? Isa, dalawa, tatlo, tertiary. O, ma'am, mag-react na sila both. Well, pwede mag-react both, pero faster pa rin ang tertiary. Okay? Ito primary, napaka-least ng chance because of the kailangan i-consider na stable ang carbocation. Doon tayo lagi sa stable carbocation. O, this carbon here is tertiary, this carbon here is secondary. Siyempre, faster pa rin ang tertiary. So everybody, SN1 reaction, stable carbocation. Next, which compound undergoes a faster SN2 reaction? Again, ang kailangan dito class, there must be enough space on the alpha carbon for nucleophilic attack. So ito, primary alkyl halide. Ito ay methyl alkyl halide. O ma'am, parehong pwede. O diba, ang galing, parehong pwede for SN2. Pero saan kaya mas malaki ang space? Sa primary or sa methyl? Kasi faster daw. Siyempre ma'am sa methyl. Hydrogen lang yun. Diba, yung carbon dito may R group. Dito, lahat hydrogen lang. O next, ito class ay secondary at ito ay primary. O pareho din. Pareho mag-undergo ng SN2. Pero faster ang hinahanap sa primary. And here we have secondary and tertiary. And kapag tertiary, impossible for nucleophilic attack. Sige nga saan? Saan kaya ma'am pwede mag-approach? Exactly, mahirap. Kaya dito tayo sa secondary. O diba, adali lang. So this exercises guys ay galing sa book ni Smith. Alright, determine the product or products for the SN2 reaction below. O meron tayong secondary, bromide, cyclopentyl bromide with cyanide. Mamit, strong nucleophile po ba cyanide? Opo, strong nucleophile yan. So this will undergo an SN2 reaction, carry lang, secondary alkyl halide naman siya, forming the corresponding nitrile. O ma'am, significant reaction yan, yes. Kasi class, kapag meron kang formation ng carbon-carbon bond, ayan, bongga, lumalaki ang molecule. Okay, so common strategy in synthesis, ang reaction to form a carbon-carbon bond, tulad na lang ng pag-add ng cyanide. Okay, so dahil napalitan ng bromine, ng cyanide ang bromine, ayan, pwede itong maging intermediate for a succeeding step to synthesis mo ng gagawin. Okay, so very good guys, kung nakasagot kayo sa exercises natin. So now, we move on to elimination reactions. Ano kaya ito? May step 1, step 2 ka rin ha. O, diba? So ma'am, tingin ko, unimolecular yan. Kasi isa lang yung involved sa rate determining step, sa bond breaking portion. Yes, this is what we call an E1 reaction. Medyo similar no sa SN1, kung saan meron siyang 2-step reaction. Bond breaking, and then here, removal of the beta hydrogen to form the double bond. Ayan, ang E1. Ito naman class ang E2 Oh, alam mo, ang galing, sabay. Sabay yung living group, X, tsaka yung pag-remove ng beta hydrogen. O, di ba? Characteristic yan, pag bimolecular class, ang reaction. Okay? So here, you have the alkyl halide and the base, both involved in the rate determining step. Okay? So tayo ay lumipat na class sa E1 at E2 reaction. So in step 1 of E1, medyo similar sa step 1 ng SN1, bond breaking. Step 2, removal of the beta hydrogen to form the pi bond. So tandaan sa elimination, ang product ay alkenes. In E2, sabay-sabay. So simultaneous concerted ang pag-alis ng living group at ang removal class ng beta hydrogen. Alright? So forming again, the alkene. So dapat class, hindi pa kayo nalilito sa apat na reaction. Alam mo, apat na SN1, SN2, E1, E2. Di ba mas masaya na nga? Kasi apat na sila. Okay, now I have to discuss itong requirement ng E2. Requirement ng E2 class na anti-periplanar ang geometry ng living group na halogen at ng beta hydrogen. Ito, meron pa tayong Newman projection. Ay, kung mama mo, anti sila sa isa't isa, opposite sila. Okay, this is needed for the formation of the pi bond. Kailangan class may alignment. O recall, sa p orbitals, kailangan may proper alignment, proper orientation para mag-form ang pi bond. Okay, so we call this anti-periplanar or anti-coplanar geometry. Okay, ng geometry na requirement ng E2, si E2 lang ang merong requirement na ganito. Alright, so class, may ulit table na comparison. So, ang kailangan na base ng E2, strong, bulky base. For E1, okay na siya sa weak base. Substrate. Oh, alam mo, pareho lang tertiary. Okay, kasi nga, ang requirement ang naging major product dito ay ang more substituted na alkene. Okay, with regards to carbocation arrangement, syempre not possible din sa E2 kasi nga simultaneous. Possible siya sa E1 kung possible ang hydride or alkyl shift. Solvent preference, ang E1, kasi nga meron tayong mga ionic charges, meron tayong charges na napo-form. So, polar protic, similar sa SN1. Sa E2 naman class, either. Depends yan sa base. So, nagpo-follow ng Zaitsev rule. More substituted product ang napo-form. May example kayo dyan, yes. May example tayo. Hoffman's rule, ipapaliwanag din natin. Ang E1 nakikipag-compete sa SN1, ang E2 nagko-compete sa SN2 reaction. Okay, so yan plus ang comparison ng dalawang elimination, E1 and E2. So here, we will compare Zaitsev and Hoffman's rule. So common kasi yung Zaitsev, di ba? But we also need to discuss Hoffman's rule para aware kayo na merong ganitong rule and magkaiba class yung products nila. O, take a look at our alkyl bromide here. Ito ang alpha carbon. Here is your beta carbon. So yan ay CH2. Ito, another beta. Basta katabigas ng alpha, mga beta carbons yan. Ang beta carbon here, isa lang yung hydrogen niya kasi meron siyang dalawang methyl. So crowded. Okay, may steric hindrance yung isang beta carbon. Right now, kung meron kang non-bulky base, attractive na class agad ito. Kasi hindi ganun kalaki yung base, non-bulky. So kasya siya dito. Unlike mag-bulky base, hindi yan kasya dito. Parehong bulky na nga yung area kung nasaan yung beta hydrogen, bulky pa yung mag-attack na base. O diba, hindi sila kasya. So for non-bulky base, this beta hydrogen here will be removed. So kapag na-remove yun, ang formation ng double bond will be at this area between this beta carbon and alpha. Na-match yung double bond mo, yung pi bond, na-form ba yun parate between alpha and beta? Of course, technique niya na na-form ang double bond, ang pi bond between alpha and beta carbon. So here, nagpo-follow na class here ang Zaitsev rule. It is the more substituted alkene. Sabi kasi ng Zaitsev rule, the more substituted alkene is typically the major product. So more substituted, ibig sabihin, mas marami yung R groups bonded to the carbon bearing the double bond. So ayan o, alkyl, alkyl, alkyl. O diba? Tri-substituted ito. Whereas the minor product, yung isang beta carbon, ang kukuhanan natin ng hydrogen. So dito naman class mapo-form, diba? Ito yung alpha, dito naman mapo-form yung double bond. So ito ay less substituted. Isa, dalawa. Di-substituted lang siya. Minor product under Zaitsev's rule. Now, if the base is bulky, o example niyan, ay tert butoxide. Drawin natin ang isang bulky na base sa O minus, K plus, o diba? Yung KOH, o OH, o diba? Non-bulky base. Ito, yung hydrogen, palitan mo ng alkyl group tulad ng tert butyl, tert butoxide, ayan, bulky yung base. So, ma'am, ipe-prefer siguro na i-attack yung hindi naman mahirap i-attack. Exactly, yung available, yung free, diba? Kasi bulky na yung base. So, the bond will be formed here between alpha and beta. So, ito class ang Hoffman product, ayan. So, ang Hoffman product, yung less substituted alkene. So, Hoffman's rule, when a bulky base is used, the less substituted alkene is often the major product due to steric hindrance. O, diba? O, alam niyo na, ang pinakaiba ng Zaitsev sa Hoffman's rule. Okay? So, ang typical kasi na alam ng mga students, Zaitsev rule, more substituted alkene. E paano kapag ang base bulky? Diba? So, kailangan nyo nang isipin, kung ano bulky base, so mahirapan siyang mag-approach dun sa bulky na area. So, dun siya sa free. Diba? So, class, it makes sense, no? It makes a lot of sense. Itong Zaitsev and Hoffman's rule. Alright. So, guys, here's our list for the reactions based on the type of alkyl halide and the type of reacting species. Kung siya ba ay strong base, strong nucleophile, or combination. Let's begin. Primary alkyl halide. Class, pag primary alkyl halide, isa lang ang alkyl group, ang alpha carbon, there's space. Asahan ninyo, ito ay popular sa bimolecular reaction. O, tama, di ba? So, bimolecular, ang gusto ng primary. If it's a strong base, take a look, E2. Follow. If it's strong nucleophile, SN2. O, di ba? Nagko-compete. So, kapag parehong strong base, strong nucleophile ang species, competing reaction ng E2 at saka SN2. Next, na class, pagpasensyahan nyo na ang secondary alkyl halide. Nasa gitna kasi ito. So, you will find na all are possible based on the type of reacting species. So, still, kapag strong base, E2, pag strong nucleophile, SN2. Ito na nga, pwede ang SN1 and E1 if the reacting species is a weak base or and weak nucleophile. Okay? Tertiary. For tertiary alkyl halide, di ba ma'am, ito yung nagpo-form ng stable carbon-cation? Yes. Kaya class, makikita natin dito ang unimolecular reactions. Pero nandito rin kasi ang E2 na pinaprefer kapag strong base. So E2, E2. For tertiary alkyl halide, strong base. If it's a weak base, possible class ang SN1. At nandito rin ang E1. Mamich lagi ba nagko-compete yan? SN1 and E1 whenever possible? Yes. Okay? So class, ito ang summary natin ng dominant and competing reactions based sa starting materials. So kung hindi nyo pa class kayang maalala lahat, well, tinan nyo muna to, tong code natin, tong list natin for the reactions. After all, masasanay din naman kayo kapag binigyan ka ng iba't ibang type ng alkyl halide, iba't ibang type ng reacting species. So guide muna natin tong list of reactions here. Okay? So ayan class. And here ang summary natin ng mga reactions na pwede sa or applicable sa alkyl halide because we already studied our substitution, elimination, elimination. Ayan. So ang alkyl halide, ang versatile naman niya ma'am, pwede siyang maging ether, nitrile, Grignard reagent, thiol, alkene, and alkyne, yes. Okay, so class, yan ang ating reaction map on alkyl halide. Sakto, nandito ang formation ng Grignard reagent. Bakit ma'am, may lesson pa tayo on Grignard? Grignard is one of the organometallic reagents. So yes, may lesson tayong kasunod regarding Grignard reagent. So everyone, meron tayong quick chapter on organometallics. So we will briefly look at its preparation kasi ini-involve ito ang mga alkyl halides, diba? So maganda na ilagay na agad natin siya here right after alkyl halides. Lumalabas na kasi class sa maraming synthesis problems ang reactivity ng mga organometallics. Okay? Ma'am, ang mga organometallics ba, i-consider na ba natin na ito yung charge nila? Yes. So consider natin class na ionic ang charge ng mga species. So magnesium being a metal, it's positive. And the carbon group, siya naman yung negative. Okay? Yan yung highly polar characteristic ng mga organometallic reagents. To be specific, ito class ay Grignard. So ang Grignard reagents, we usually write them in the form of RMGX. O itong 3D model na to. Nasaan po yung R? Ito. CH3. Ito class ang kanyang Mg, ito ang kanyang Cl. Ba't may ganito? Ito class ay ether solvent. Okay, solvent. At nagpo-complex through the load pairs of oxygen to stabilize our methyl magnesium chloride, a Grignard reagent. Alright, so class in your manual, we listed here the common organometallic reagents, Grignard, familiar tayo dyan. So starting material, your alkyl halide and magnesium, the reagent or condition dry ether. Ma'am, di ba pwedeng aqueous? Hindi. Malalaman niyo mamaya kung bakit dapat dry ether anhydrous THF, inert atmosphere. So ang product RMGX, organolithium reagent, so alkyl halide with lithium, ganun ulit, dry solvent, hexene. So R-lithium, Gilman reagent, R-lithium with copper halide, ang reagent or solvent na kailangan dry ether, product R2 copper lithium. Okay, class ha, ang pinaka-common na ginagamit sa mga problems ay Grignard. Okay, kaya dapat familiar kayo class ha, Grignard reagent. Meron ako ipapa-homework, video homework guys sa inyo na reaction involving Grignard. So ayan, meron tayong ditong bromopropane reacting with magnesium in ether, forming the Grignard reagent. Diba? Ang cool kaya class nitong formation ng Grignard reagent sa video na to. So class, video homework niyan, I will provide the link. Ayun na ang manood. May kahabaan kasi siya. Iko-consume pa yung time dito sa crash course natin. So it's already your video homework guys. Okay? So meron akong did you know na slide regarding Grignard reagents. We will call them the game changer. Bakit? Ma'am, bakit tinawag na game changer ang Grignard reagent? Grignard reagents are so reactive. They can even turn simple molecules into powerful building blocks. Bakit? Di ba class kapag meron tayong Grignard reagent, ito ay nagpo-form ng carbon-carbon bond. Okay? So na-revolutionize actually ang organic chem, making it easy no to form carbon-carbon bonds. Sobrang impactful, sobrang influential ng discovery na to ni Grignard. He won the Nobel Prize in 1912. Oh, ang bongga. Basta nagpo-form ng carbon-carbon bond, guys. Game changer yan sa organic chem. Right? So let's look at reactions of Grignard reagents. Class, take note, ang mga Grignard reagents, they are both strong bases and strong nucleophiles. They readily react with proton donors like water, alcohols, carboxylic acids, and terminal alkynes. O, take a look ha, tingnan natin ang kanilang magiging mechanism. So take note na nagiging R- ang alkyl group bonded to magnesium and V halide. So kukunin ng class yung proton. So negatively charged yan, kukunin ng proton, kukunin ng proton, kukunin ng proton. E di ma'am, yung R group ng Grignard, kukunin ng hydrogen, magiging alkane siya. Exactly. So kapag may source ng proton, kukunin lang yan ng R group. So R of the RMGX will become RH alkane. O diba? Kaya kanina sa preparation, dapat dry ether para ma-prevent ang acid-base reaction. Kasi strong base ang RMGX. Alright? Let's look at your manual for the list of very common reactions ng Grignard. So ayan na, alam na natin yung kapag nag-react siya sa acids, may proton source, the product will be alkene, RH, with an aldehyde ketone or epoxide. Ano common sa mga to? Ang carbon here class bonded to electronegative na oxygen. So here is the reaction and the reaction conditions. Take note na meron tayong corresponding protonation step. So after the attack of the Grignard, dito class aldehyde, ketone, epoxide, may corresponding step pa na protonation. O ma'am, nasan po yung mga alcohol na mapoproduce? Again, meron tayong mechanism here. If it's a carbonyl group that will be attacked by R-, so let's look at the mechanism. R- attacking carbon, carbon kasi dito ay electron core being bonded with oxygen. So kulang pa yung arrow, dagdagan natin. Ayan. So magiging O- kasi siya. Okay, so R, now bonded to carbonyl-carbon, and then this is now CO-. May protonation step, so it becomes OH. Ma'am, bakit secondary alcohol? O class, ang aldehyde, di ba, may isang R group. Dagdagan pa ng isang R galing sa RMGX. Dalawa na. So the alcohol produced is secondary. Now with the ketone, meron pa ng 2 R groups of the carbonyl-carbon. Dagdag pa ng isa from RMGX. It's now a tertiary alcohol. Okay? O, ano yung epoxide, ma'am? Epoxide is a cyclic ether. Ito siya, class. Okay, so paano magiging alcohol din yan? So R- attacking one of the carbons. Class, itong carbons, epoxide, pwede itong substituted or not. Okay, kaya ako nalagay dito ng anong type of alcohol. Kindly correct guys ha, kung meron man akong typo sa manual. Kasi alcohol lang dapat yan, hindi siya diol. Ibang reaction pa yon, yung magiging diol, iba pa. Okay? So for now, so itong CH2, i-attack ng R, so magiging R, CH2. And then plus, meron ka pang isang carbon here. O, take note. So, depende actually no, kung ano i-attack ng R, yung mas free, mas libre. Kasi hindi tayo sure kung itong carbon ba dito ay substituted or hindi. Okay, so for now, kung simple epoxide lang siya, so magiging R, CH2, then CH2, OH. Diba? Pero kung merong naka-attach na R groups, kailangan nating mamili. Ano kaya ang mas free for the nucleophilic attack of R-? So, generally speaking, the reaction of an epoxide with the Grignard reagent will form an alcohol. Magkakaroon ng ring opening reaction. Okay? And then we have reaction with carbon dioxide. Okay, so paano yun, ma'am? CO2, yung carbon doon, electron core din. So, nucleophilic naman ang R. So, carry, gusto niya yan. Look, so R, C. I-attack na class ang electron core carbon dito. So, one of the electron pairs will migrate with oxygen. It becomes O-. RCO, O-. May corresponding protonation step pa para maging RCOOH, carboxylic acid. May alam na kayo ngayon na way to prepare alcohols and carboxylic acid na involve ang Grignard reagent. Diba ang bongga? So, kailangan alam nyo class to kasi part ito ng organometallic chemistry. Okay? So, guys, now we're done with the Grignard reagents na ginawa nating application ng lesson kanina on alkyl halides. You're now ready, guys, to answer practice test 6.